This is probably the most pathetic controversy to happen to a Hololive VTuber since the entire Coco Taiwan incident. Hololive VTuber Ouro Kronii has just suffered the most ridiculous canceling of the year. She was fired as a voice actress from a video game over a joke from 4 years ago. It's actually even worse than that. This was a joke made 5 years ago. YouTube channel Osekkai providing a great clip of Kronii addressing what happened. And yeah, this is all over a joke that she made 5 years ago, a pun specifically by calling a boar, like the animal, a mob in the game, a boar, saying it's like a boring boar, and that she's gonna kill the boar because it's a boar.
I'm so good at this.
You are. You're doing great.
Somehow, you're doing amazing.
I managed to make Thank you.
I'm gonna kill this boar. He's such a boar.
I'm gonna go.
Boring. Ha 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 ha.
So yeah, that was literally 5 years ago, and now this is resurfaced. Kronii was going to be the English VA for a character in Eternal Return. However, the Korean community dug up an old clip where she was hunting a wild boar. You know all that part now. Players got offended, swore she was insulting the game, calling the game a boar, and cried so much that the devs actually took the role away from her. The best part, Kronii responded like an absolute based queen. She started making even more bad jokes on her social media and told the offended folks to visit a hospital, later clarifying that language barriers caused this level of stupidity. Here's where Kronii addressed this on her Twitter account, saying, "Breaking news, attire is tiring and a boar is boring. If you found this pun to be controversial, then hospital." And like I mentioned, Osekkai providing a clip of her addressing this on stream. Let's take a look.
I know. I was a bit down today, because well, some people were commenting on what I said on stream from like 5 years ago, and it was like when I saw a boar and I made a pun that I was going to kill this boar because it's such a bore, hence why the tweet happened. And even though most people understood that it was a pun, there were some people who didn't understand it because they're not too fluent in English, and so they thought I was talking about the game itself being boring and being disrespectful, and I would have never said anything like that in a sponsored stream, no less.
Can you just imagine all these people talking about this and spreading this news, claiming that she called the game boring, and it's like, dude, that's not even what happened, and they're all getting mad at literally nothing.
And then, I don't know, and then they also commented on how unenthusiastic I sounded, and you know how self-conscious I get about my voice just coming across as like bored. And that was like back in 2021, and that was only like 3 months. Was it 3 months? 3 months after my debut, so I was a lot more reserved, and I was really nervous about, you know, not sucking too terribly for the game. And yeah, that's why I don't know, it's really sad when some people twist your words, especially when it's so easy to fact check it by watching the source stream, and you can tell that it was a pun, and there's a timestamp for it as well. So it's really hurtful, especially when there are few people that believe what those other people say instead of going and checking the source material themselves. And yeah, I mean, I really didn't think puns could be so dangerous to the point where people could question the nature of your personality. So yeah, and if I do say something rude, I believe I should apologize for it. But when I genuinely didn't do anything and there are people expecting me to apologize or expect me to have some sort of repercussions over a non-existent problem, it makes me kind of sad to see, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, realistically, if anyone should be apologizing here, it's the people that are lying about her and canceling her from a game that she didn't even do anything wrong. Like, they didn't get the joke. They should apologize for that, if anything, like I said. And that's crazy, too. Like, she didn't sound enthusiastic. Yeah, that's how she talks. What, is she supposed to put on a fake, like, overly enthusiastic voice? Be all fake and obnoxious about it? Do you really want that? Personally, I don't. I don't like that fake stuff. I think she's fine the way she is. And unfortunately, very relatable when she talks about people just making stuff up and not fact checking anything. I've literally had people, usually on Reddit, where they'd get really mad at stuff that I never even said. They're like, Hirohei said this thing, he's so problematic. And it's like, dude, that's not even what I said. If you disagree with what I say, by all means, go ahead and criticize what I actually said. But these people don't do that. They just make stuff up. We have an update on how the game's doing after terminating Kornii, with recent reviews falling all the way down to mostly negative. You can see this user, for example, with almost 1,500 hours played, writing this. Fired a solid VA over nonsense raised by a community of players that wouldn't even use the language pack that she voiced for. This game is good, but the devs are beyond clueless and will bend over backwards and pander to their Korean audience and leave the rest of the world's servers to rot. This was an actual potential growth moment for the game, and the studio managed to bungle an easy free win and grow their global player base, so we aren't limited to either finding matches with a certain time window or beating the snot out of new players and norms. Considering the game's future was already looking questionable due to financials, I don't know how long this has left, and I don't know if it's worth my time after this, let alone my money. That review accumulating hundreds of awards there, and over 1,200 people finding it helpful, 8 finding it funny. This user with 117 hours writing, this game is on life support anywhere outside of Asia/KR. I moved residency from SCA to NA and was baffled by the player base difference. Nobody plays casual, nobody plays ranked, queues take almost an hour per lobby, even on the weekends, and now they shoot down an opportunity for the game to flourish in the West despite claiming that S11 will be the season where they focus on developing towards other regions, quote unquote, because they decided to recast B. Young's English VA for saying a boar is boring? I love this game, but it's already unplayable here, and now it's going to get worse. I'd run the KR server to Mithril at 250 MS again, but I'd rather not give this company an active player right now. There's also a bunch of reviews just spreading the pun now, calling the game boring. This game is boring. Guys, this game is really boring, I'm warning you. There are so many negative reviews coming in for this game, I'm obviously not going to read them all, we're just getting a bit of a sample, but we'll end with these two. One having 2,057 hours, and the other having 420 hours. We'll start with the one on the top. It says, Kronii VA fired for a funny pun? Hell nah. What the frick is that? Even the boars are shocked. Not gonna lie, at this point it's UNN, that boring the boars can't compare, LMAO. Not changing this unless decision gets rethinked. And guys, it's time to get a job when... this comment's funny, bro. Excuse me. And guys, it's time to get a job when you're crying over people for a 5-year-old pun. How the frick are you defending that? And the other one saying... Genuinely, this was a fun time and it had potential, but genuinely it cannot thrive if Nimble Neuron prioritizes the whims of keyboard warriors whenever they please. The game was going to experience some more growth, but they decided to listen to them and fire a voice actor for a new character over a silly and inconsequential pun from over 3 years ago. You can't help but wonder how dire the situation is for them currently and how things will go in the future, but it certainly doesn't look good considering their current course. This is without adding how the queue times can be abysmal in Western region and only being able to find games at certain times, especially when I tried playing ranked. So as they say, thanks for the memories. So they were trying to get the global servers to be more active, get more global players. They bring on Kornii as a VA, and then this complete non-issue gets blown out of proportion. They don't fact check anything. They just terminate her, and now here we are. Like, it's just such an absurd situation, and it's sad too because there are players that were enjoying this. Some of these people have 2,000 plus hours, 1,000 plus hours, hundreds of hours in this game, and they even say they were enjoying it, but there are issues, and they were hoping that an increase in the global player base would resolve a number of those issues, of course. And then what do? The team decides to fire Kronii, terminate Kronii over this complete non-issue, and now the global servers are going to be even worse off. Like I said, an absurd situation, but I'm glad Kronii's taken it so well. She's got a lot of support, and I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Have a wonderful weekend up ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.